Hey, yo, come on, man. This conversation is long overdue. These fighters, simply put, they're not fighting at their true weight class. Ryan Garcia looks huge. Devin Haney looks huge. That's what I want to talk about in this video, Ego Weight Watchers. And we in the building, gang. So last night, Ryan Garcia took part in a poker tournament with other celebrities, celebrity poker. He was playing with the likes of Neymar and Jimmy Butler, just to name a few people. Dan Bilzerian, and Ryan Garcia, you know, he has his own fashion, the way he dresses. He had a cutoff t-shirt, so the sleeves was out. He had the right to bear arms. The guns was out, right? And I'm just looking at it, and these recent videos and pictures, Ryan Garcia looks big. He's a guy who never really even fought at 140 pounds. And I know some of you guys are scratching your head. What do you mean, Ego? Look it up. All of his fights, like he fought Tank Davis at a catchweight of 136. After that, he moved up, said he was moving up after the loss, and he moved up. But he was fighting at a catchweight, like the Oscar Duarte fight. And then he was contracted to fight Devin Haney at 140 pounds. But he had to renegotiate because he didn't make the weight, and he came in 3.2 pounds heavy. So Ryan Garcia officially has never fought and made 140 pounds, because I don't really care what the contracted weight is if you miss it and then you have to renegotiate and you never have to hit that number on the scale. So Ego Weight Watchers, AKA EW, where I give you a look into the fighter lifestyle before, after, progress pics, especially when they have an upcoming fight. Now, we know Ryan Garcia, he don't have no upcoming fights. The reason being, he tested positive for Ostarine, and now he is suspended for 1 year. So he can't compete until April 2025 right here in the United States. There's some confusion there. Some people think because this happened in New York that he can just go to Las Vegas and stage a fight. Doesn't work like that. Usually the other commissions, per the ABC commission's rules, they'll honor suspensions. So, I mean, that would just be the oldest trick in the book, for a fighter to be suspended in one jurisdiction and then just say, oh, hey, I'm not suspended in Nevada, and go fight in Vegas and still make money. So he's not coming back until 2025. In boxing, regular, traditional. I don't know if he does UFC or bare knuckle or something else, but in terms of a boxing license, forget about it. So Ryan Garcia being suspended, up out of there. Ain't nothing but a gangster party. Like that up. So Ryan Garcia at the poker tournament, he seemed to be almost annoying some of the people, like Jimmy Butler. Looked like he didn't want to be sitting next to Ryan Garcia. If you watch the clips, Ryan Garcia was getting up, growling, flexing. Ryan Garcia is one of those people, you have to have a tolerance for that level of energy, right? You have to be on the same wavelength. Like if you have that level of energy, maybe it's cool. Or if you're drinking and he's drinking, maybe it's cool. But if you're on a different frequency and you're just like mellowed out and chilled out, Ryan Garcia would be obnoxious because he's all over the place, jumping up and, you know, playing little kid games, and, you know, some things could be looked at as immature. But back to the weight. Ryan Garcia looks big. But wait, there's more. So does Devin the Dream Haney. Devin Haney, there's some recent pictures that have leaked online. I've already made a video about that. It's up to you guys. If you want to know what's going on in this beautiful sport called boxing, subscribe to my channel, because I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. So made a video about that. Ego Weight Watchers, that's my often imitated, never duplicated. I've been doing this over 10 years. Subscribe to the channel. And what I'm looking at is Devin Haney in these recent pictures. His face look all full. His body looked like fluffed out. He just looked big too. So what does any of this mean? You have two guys, and I find it funny that you got two guys who are saying they basically compete at 140. Now, Ryan Garcia, after he missed weight, he said he can't make 140. He said he's gonna have to fight at catch weights, right? That's just what it is. Devin Haney, after Ryan tested positive more recently, and I've already talked about these things, Devin Haney says that, screw that, when I come back in a year, he's changed from 2 years to 1 year, but the tweet said something to the effect of, when I come back in a year, I'm not fighting in weight classes. I'm gonna do whatever I please, and I'm gonna fight at whatever weight I want. Don't know why he said that, but he feels a type of way. And with him looking so big, I can understand why he said that. Devin Haney set the stage for things to come. So I think he could be serious about it, because we know for a fact that making weight for these fighters is not easy. We know for a fact that Devin Haney, in his fight with Ryan Garcia, he was professional. He made the contracted weight, but it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was easy, because he had to weigh in naked. And I've always said the same things on my channel, because I'm the best in the business. You know, I'm carrying on where Kobe Bryant left, Black Mamba energy, the Mamba mentality, and I gotta keep it real with you. Discipline is everything. And I've always said this, for these pro fighters that are straying so far from their competition weight, that's no bueno. Now, if person in their personal life, they don't maintain their weight, that's whatever. Because at the end of the day, that's their body, their temple, their health. They're not getting punched in the face for a living. But it is no bueno for these fighters who are doing it, because these fighters, and I remember when I was in my 20s, part of being in your 20s is a level of naivete. You don't know everything about the world, right? So just imagine having millions of dollars, being in the spotlight, people knowing who you are, you know, just having that celebrity about you. I'm sure that comes with certain challenges, but you still got to be disciplined. Guys like Floyd Mayweather been atop of the sport like 25 plus years, and you never seen a video of Floyd Mayweather grossly out of shape where he looks sloppy, right? And even other people, and I know this is not boxing, but let's say someone like The Rock. Show me a picture where Dwayne The Rock Johnson looks obese and it looks like he's not in any type of shape. So that's the level of dedication and discipline that you got to give credit to when you see somebody. Like, even when I look at, let's say, Lenny Kravitz, he's almost 60 and he's in phenomenal shape, in better shape than 20-year-olds. You look at some of these podcasters and whatnot, and they're in their 20s and they're not built in shape like Lenny Kravitz. So that's a testament to the work ethic, the mindset, the mental peace. So when I see fighters who are fighting for a living and they can't seem to tame their weight, I do think it's concerning. And now you're having that with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, both of them. The first video I did about Devin Haney, because there was a recent picture that leaked, but looking at Ryan Garcia, it's the same thing. And I do find it mighty funny that both of these guys are people who want to fight Tank Davis. And credit to Gervonta Tank Davis. Shout out to Baltimore. Y'all really got one in B more, where you got to be more careful. Because one thing, you can hate on Gervonta as much as you want. One thing we can all agree to, Gervonta Davis is not weight bullying his way to victories. He's not using weight where he has to come in and balloon up and weigh 40 pounds more than his opponent to get the victory and to get the knockout. Tank Davis, in fact, he's as he's gotten older, he's gotten more mature, which, like I've said, Ego Stradamus Strikes Again, it has made him more of a dangerous fighter. A more dangerous fighter because he's more disciplined and family-oriented and focused, and he's not abusing like weight and rehydration to get these victories. Like you look at Devin Haney, I don't even know how much he weighs, but he looks like 180 or something, right? And people are making excuses, oh, it's the clothing and stuff. You could look at the person's hands, you could look at their face. The clothing only accounts for so much. You know what I mean? You could tell when somebody is not in the same shape. So the point I'm making is Tank Davis is not doing that. Devin Haney at several weigh-ins was like, you're too small, you too little, you too small, you too small. And it's becoming to the point of abusive. And these are the guys that want to fight Tank Davis. And the fact is, Ryan already lost to Tank Davis. And I don't know anyone who would even pick Devin Haney at this point to really beat Gervonta, given how he looked in his last fight and the punishment suffered. But I did want to highlight the fact that Tank is doing it really the old-fashioned way. He's getting viral knockouts over Frank Martin, a person who hasn't so much as been dropped in their pro fights, and he's knocking him out brutally with 2 punches, and he's not doing it by coming in this colossal weight and looking huge next to his opponent. Like you look at Devin versus Jojo Diaz, Kambosos, Lomachenko, Regis Prograis, he looked way bigger. And then now you see these guys in their off season, their cut is crazy. And mid-20s, early 20s, yeah, you could probably get away with it. And some people abuse that. Wait till you hit your 30s. It's a bad habit to get into because as you get older, things change. Certain productions of testosterone, your metabolism, these things start to slow down and taper down. And you've already created and set the tone for these crazy weight cuts. And also, like a person like Devin Haney, he got dropped a gang of times. That can't be healthy to crash your body out, even if you are young, and crash your body out and drain yourself and dehydrate and flatten out. And then you're taking that much punishment in the Ryan Garcia fight. So these fighters are definitely doing themselves a disservice because with true dehydration, people can black out. You know, you could have low levels of energy. And just imagine going into battle and you're not fully replenished. So I think these fighters need to watch it with these crazy weight cuts. You know, we seen a fighter recently who passed out in the middle of their fight and it was scary, and that was Tremaine Williams. So I hope boxing starts to crack down on this and force people out of weight classes that they don't belong in, trying to get advantages, and let's get back to same day weigh-ins, stuff like that, because people in this new modern era of boxing, these kids, these younger Gen Zers, they're doing too much and not maintaining their weight in order to have an advantage. And is that real competition? Like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, the look of things, it looks like they could and should almost be at like 154 or at the very least 147. And they're squeezing down to 35 for a while and 140. And they both look too big for the division. And I've counted this and I've watched this, and now people are starting to see it. You know, I said that, I was like, man, Devin Haney, he's rehydrating 25 pounds. That's crazy. Ryan Garcia is missing weight, and, you know, he's not making the contracted weights and fighting at catch weights. So it's just funny to me. And again, old media and the shapeshifters, they're saying that Tank Davis needs to play by these guys' rules and fight them at whatever weight they prefer, despite him being the A side, which, like I've said from the beginning, that just sounds stupid. Why would Tank Davis offer up any conveniences or concessions to his ops, right? Just doesn't make sense. What type of strategy is it to, I'm the star of the show, people are paying for me, this is gonna be your biggest paycheck, I'm the A side, but let me give you anything that you feel would be a leverage over me. I mean, it just doesn't happen. Now, I will say this too in closing. The part that's worse for Devin Haney is the fact that he's doing all this with his weight and he's looking so big and then doing this drastic cut. And at least Ryan Garcia shows speed and power and he's hurting guys and stuff like that. But for Devin Haney to come crashing down and outweigh your opponent by so much and you're not getting stoppages, like Devin Haney hasn't got a stoppage in like over 5 years probably. So I think that's even more concerning to go that direction of bulking him up and perhaps losing some speed and different reflex because you're adding on size. But for what? It's not like it's made you a knockout puncher or a Mike Tyson style puncher. So what is the point of bulking up if it's not going to make you stronger? Like, what is it really doing other than the aesthetics of it? Right? You just look bigger. Ooh, you look more scary at the weigh-in or something. These are professional fighters. So I think it's even more concerning for Devin Haney because people have questioned his pop. They've questioned his power. Plus, like, you outweighed Lomachenko, but then he hurt you and you didn't really hurt him in that fight. I mean, maybe you hurt him a little to the body or something, but I'm talking about you haven't dropped him or hurt him in that fashion. Meanwhile, Tank Davis came in a pound under the weight for Frank Martin, and he's brutally knocking him out, showing you that weight is not everything when it comes to power. Mike Tyson is another person who showed you that, where he could be 218, 221, and he's beating bigger guys in his prime that were 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", and outweighing him and weighing 260, and Tyson was stretching him.